When someone starts pulling away and ignoring you, it's like facing a storm. You feel the wind of confusion and hurt, and it's easy to want to chase after them, to fix things. But here's the hard truth. How you handle this moment will determine not just the course of your relationship, but the trajectory of your personal growth, your emotional strength, and how much you value yourself. So, what's the right way to react? First, you need to stop reacting impulsively. This moment isn't just about trying to win them back. It's about making sure you don't lose yourself in the process. And this is where wisdom, patience, and control come in. Qualities that will shape not only how you face this situation, but how you face all of life's challenges. In this video, we're going to break down 10 powerful steps that will help you handle when someone distances themselves from you with calm, wisdom, and control. These steps will not only guide you in staying composed, but they'll also empower you to grow stronger from this experience, no matter what happens. The focus here isn't about chasing someone, but about never chasing after your own sense of self-worth. And we'll bring in Stoic principles to help you navigate this with the mental resilience and clarity of someone who's in control of their emotions and their life. Before we dive into the steps, let me remind you of something important. You're not alone in this. Many people have gone through this very thing, and many have come out of it stronger, wiser, and more in control of their lives than ever before. This is your chance to do the same. So, if you're ready to take charge of your emotional well-being, build resilience, and make this challenging situation work for you, then don't wait. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss another life-changing video like this one. Your support will help others find this valuable content too. And I want to leave you with this. Think about what this situation is really teaching you. Is it making you more emotionally intelligent, more resilient, more self-aware? If you can answer yes to any of those, then you're on the right path. You don't need anyone's validation to feel powerful. You've got everything you need to face this with strength. Now, let's dive into the first step of this journey, and by the end of the video, you'll be equipped with the tools to handle any pullback, stronger, wiser, and more in control. Don't just watch, take action. Here's an affirmation for you. I do not care. Type it in the comments below if you're ready to embrace your inner strength and let go of any emotional attachment that is draining your energy. You're reclaiming your power, and it starts now. And remember, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Let's turn this challenge into the best thing that ever happened to you. 1. When they pull away, here's what you must do. When they start pulling away and ignoring you, it's easy to feel lost. That uneasy knot in your stomach, the thoughts running in circles. What went wrong? You start replaying your last conversation, wondering if you said something wrong or if they're losing interest. Your mind tells you to act fast. Reach out, send a text, make a call, do whatever it takes to fix it, to bring things back to how they were. But here's the truth. Reacting out of panic will only push them further away. The most powerful thing you can do when this happens is to stay calm. I know it's easier said than done, especially when emotions are high, but keeping your cool is your first step. Why? Because when you show emotional control, you're demonstrating that you are grounded, confident, and stable. These are the qualities people are attracted to, especially when things feel uncertain. Let's think about it. They stop replying to your messages, and maybe it's been a day, maybe longer. You feel that urge to check in, to ask if something's wrong, or to get reassurance that everything's okay. You might be tempted to send multiple texts, asking why they haven't responded. But here's an important truth. Silence is often an answer in itself. When they pull away, it's not your cue to chase after them. It's time for you to reflect and give them the space they clearly need. People often withdraw because they need room to think or process their emotions. When you give them that space, you're allowing them the chance to miss you, to think about you, and to come to their own conclusions about what they want. Over-communicating during this period will only overwhelm them and push them further away. Instead, focus on yourself. Keep yourself grounded by engaging in the things that fulfill you, whether it's your work, hobbies, spending time with friends, or focusing on personal growth. This not only shows them, but also shows you that your life doesn't revolve around their responses. You are a whole person with your own life and your own purpose, and that's incredibly attractive. When you keep living your life confidently and with purpose, it signals that you don't need them to feel good about yourself. Instead of seeking validation from them, you become someone who can offer stability, someone they can rely on when things feel uncertain. That's the kind of person people respect. Think about this from a Stoic perspective. Epictetus wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." You can't control their decision to pull away, but you can control how you respond. And this is where your power lies, in your reaction. By remaining calm, you maintain your dignity and show that you're not easily shaken by external events. This emotional composure is a reflection of your internal strength, and that strength will not go unnoticed. It's not just about waiting passively, it's about actively showing self-control, which is a key Stoic virtue. Staying calm doesn't mean you are passive or weak. It means you are in control of yourself, and that's the most powerful position you can be in. Instead of reacting impulsively, you're responding thoughtfully and with patience. The more you can focus on staying grounded and composed, the more you set the tone for how future interactions will unfold. It's important to realize that people are drawn to those who can maintain their center, who don't let external events like temporary silence throw them off balance. When you show that you can stay calm during uncertain times, it signals that you can handle life's ups and downs with grace. That's something they'll respect. As you reflect on how to stay calm when they pull away, think about how you can apply these Stoic principles to your relationships. How do you typically respond when things feel uncertain? How might practicing emotional stability help you deal with these moments more effectively? By embracing emotional control and practicing patience, you can transform these challenging moments into opportunities for growth, strength, and wisdom. Staying calm is your power. It is the quiet strength that speaks louder than words. 2. Give them room to breathe. Don't crowd their space. Once you've regained your composure, the next crucial step is to respect their space. This is where many people go wrong, thinking that if they just talk things through or explain themselves, everything will go back to normal. But here's the thing you need to understand. When they pull away, it's not necessarily about you needing to do more. In fact, sometimes the best thing you can do is nothing at all, at least for now. What they likely need in this moment is time and space to process their own thoughts and emotions. Pressing for a resolution too quickly can backfire, leaving them feeling overwhelmed or pressured, which only increases the distance between you. Respecting their space is a clear sign of maturity and emotional intelligence. By doing this, you communicate a powerful message. I trust that you know what you need right now, and I'm not going to interfere with that. This shows that you're confident and secure enough to step back without needing constant reassurance. It demonstrates that you're not desperate for their attention or validation, a trait that is incredibly attractive. Desperation repels, while calm detachment draws people in. Giving them space also allows the relationship to breathe. It gives both of you time to reflect and possibly rediscover what initially brought you together. Imagine a scenario where you've been spending regular quality time together. Everything seems to be going well, but suddenly they begin pulling back. They don't respond to your texts as quickly, or they decline your invitations to hang out. It's natural to feel confused or even anxious. Your instincts might tell you to push for more time together or to force a conversation about what's going on. But this is precisely where many people make a mistake. Instead of pushing for more, the wisest move is to step back and let them come to you on their own terms. This doesn't mean ignoring them completely or playing mind games. It simply means giving them the space they need to reflect and process whatever's going on internally. Yes, this might feel difficult, especially if you're eager to get answers or fix things, but the alternative, chasing after them, will only create more tension and likely push them even further away. People need space to think clearly. By respecting their boundaries, you give them the opportunity to miss you and reassess the relationship without feeling suffocated. In Stoicism, we're reminded to focus only on what we can control and to accept what we cannot. This principle is especially relevant in situations like these. You cannot control their emotions, their need for space, or the pace at which they decide how to move forward. But what you can control is how you respond to their actions. Instead of trying to force things back to normal, use this time to focus on yourself. Continue your personal growth, pursue your hobbies, and maintain your own sense of fulfillment outside of the relationship. Not only does this keep you grounded, but it also shows that your emotional state doesn't depend on someone else's validation or attention. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have." If you focus all your energy on trying to control their actions or feelings, you will only feel more out of control and anxious. But when you let go of the need to control the situation, when you allow them to have the space they need without interference, you regain your peace of mind. This emotional freedom is invaluable, not just for you, but for the relationship as well. Think of it like tending to a garden. If you water it too much, the plants may drown. But if you give them just the right amount of space and time to grow, they flourish. Similarly, when you allow someone the room to process their feelings, they have the chance to grow and reflect on the relationship. Overanalyzing or overreacting, on the other hand, is like constantly digging up the seeds, thinking that more attention will help them grow faster. In the end, it harms the relationship instead of nurturing it. It's normal to want answers and to be eager to fix things when someone pulls away. But in moments like these, patience becomes your greatest ally. The more you give them the space they need, the more likely they are to come back to you with a clearer perspective, realizing that your maturity and emotional strength are qualities they respect. Now, you might wonder, but what if they never come back? What if they need more space than I can give? These are valid concerns, but remember, respecting their space doesn't mean you're abandoning them. It means you're allowing both of you the time and distance needed to reconnect in a healthy, sustainable way. If they choose to come back, they will do so when they are ready. And if they don't, you will have learned valuable lessons about emotional independence and respecting both your own needs and theirs. You see, by stepping back, you're showing them your strength. You're not the one chasing after validation or answers. Instead, you're standing firm in your own life, continuing to grow and focus on the things that fulfill you. This self-sufficiency is a form of emotional freedom that will not only keep you grounded, but will also attract them back when they are ready. In summary, respecting their space isn't just a passive act. It's a powerful, active choice that communicates your emotional strength and maturity. By allowing both of you time to reflect and breathe, you open the door to a healthier and stronger connection. So, step back, give them room to breathe, and in doing so, you create the space for both of you to grow, together or apart, but always stronger than before. 3. Look in the mirror. Take time to reflect on what's happening. After giving them the space they need, it's time to turn inward and engage in some meaningful self-reflection. This period is an opportunity for you to think about the situation and your role in it, but without falling into the trap of overanalyzing or jumping to conclusions. When they pull away, it can stem from a variety of factors, some of which might have nothing to do with you at all. Other times, there may have been subtle shifts in the dynamic that you missed, which contributed to them taking a step back. The goal here isn't to place blame on them or on yourself, but to understand the bigger picture with clarity and honesty. Self-reflection is a powerful tool when used constructively. It allows you to step back and assess the situation without being clouded by emotion or impulsivity. During this time, ask yourself a few important questions. Have there been any recent conflicts or misunderstandings that could have led to this? Were there moments when their energy shifted, even subtly? Could there be external factors in their life, such as stress from work, family issues, or personal challenges, that might be influencing how they're engaging with you right now? For example, imagine you had a minor disagreement the last time you were together. Maybe at the time it didn't seem like a big deal. Perhaps it was a small comment or a slight misunderstanding that you brushed off. But now, with them pulling away, you're starting to wonder if that moment carried more weight for them than you initially thought. Reflect on how that conversation unfolded. Did you truly listen to their concerns, or did you dismiss their feelings without fully realizing it? Was there something left unresolved? This kind of honest reflection can offer you valuable insights into what might be going on beneath the surface. It's important to remember that self-reflection isn't about obsessing over every little detail or criticizing yourself harshly. Instead, it's about approaching the situation with an open mind and a willingness to understand the truth, no matter how uncomfortable it might be. As Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, once said, "He who is brave is free." It takes a certain level of bravery to reflect on the truth, to look at yourself and your actions with honesty and humility. But this bravery is also liberating. When you face the truth head-on, you free yourself from the anxiety and uncertainty that comes from not knowing what went wrong. This kind of introspection helps you gain clarity, and with clarity comes emotional strength. Whether or not you discover a specific reason for their distancing themselves, you'll come out of this process with a deeper understanding of the situation and of yourself. Perhaps there's nothing you did wrong, and their need for space has more to do with their own personal challenges. Or maybe there are areas where you can grow and improve, not just for the sake of the relationship, but for your own development as well. In Stoicism, we're encouraged to practice self-awareness and to engage in constant reflection, not as a form of self-punishment, but as a way to cultivate wisdom and strength. Reflecting on the situation gives you the chance to learn, adjust, and approach future interactions with a clearer mind and a steadier heart. Instead of being consumed by doubt or fear, you can face the situation with the confidence that comes from understanding the bigger picture and being in tune with yourself. This reflection phase also provides an opportunity to practice gratitude for the relationship and the lessons it brings, regardless of the outcome. Every interaction, even the challenging ones, offers us something to learn. Use this time to reflect not only on the potential causes of their distance, but also on the value that this moment offers for your personal growth. When you can reflect with this kind of perspective, you'll find that even in uncertainty, you're gaining something valuable. As you take time to reflect on the situation, consider how this moment of introspection can lead to personal growth and deeper emotional awareness. Self-reflection, when approached with honesty and openness, is a gift that allows you to see the big picture and align with your true self. Whether you find clarity in the reason for their distance or recognize areas for your own growth, this process is essential for building stronger connections in the future. Growth begins with reflection. 4. Use the distance to fuel your own growth. One of the most empowering things you can do during a period of distance is to shift the focus back onto yourself. This doesn't mean sitting around waiting for them to reach out or endlessly wondering what they're thinking. Instead, it's about using this time to genuinely invest in your own personal growth and development. This approach serves two powerful purposes. First, it helps you regain your confidence and sense of control. Second, it shows that you're not reliant on anyone for your happiness. People are naturally drawn to those who are on a path of self-improvement. When you're actively working on becoming the best version of yourself, it signals that you're thriving independently. This is incredibly attractive. It tells the world that you don't need validation from anyone to feel whole. This period of distance is the perfect time to focus on your physical health, mental well-being, and personal goals. Whether it's starting a new workout routine, learning a new skill, or simply spending more time with friends, these actions not only boost your confidence, but also communicate that your life is full and meaningful, with or without their presence. Let's say you've always wanted to pick up a new hobby, perhaps learning to play the guitar, painting, or starting a fitness journey. Now is the perfect time to dive into that. Pursuing these interests not only improves you, but also fills your time with activities that enrich your life. When they see that you're focused on growth and self-betterment, it sends a subtle yet powerful message. You are confident, self-sufficient, and continuously evolving. This reminds them of what they might be missing, not through games or manipulation, but through your authentic journey of self-improvement. This period of distance is not a time to sit idle or dwell on things that are out of your control. Instead, it's an opportunity to become the person you aspire to be. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." This is your moment to embody that philosophy. Don't just talk about the kind of person you want to be. Become it. The real victory lies in your own personal growth, regardless of what they do or when they reach out. Stop thinking about what they're doing or when they'll contact you. Instead, ask yourself, what can I do today that will make me a better version of myself tomorrow? When you focus on your own growth, you'll regain your confidence and control. But more importantly, you'll create a life that's worth living, no matter the outcome. And that's the real win. Think of it like this. Imagine a tree standing tall in a field. It doesn't depend on the weather to thrive, but instead, It grows with whatever it's given, rain or shine. The same is true for you. Your life should be nourished from within. When you focus on nurturing your own growth, you become resilient to the changes around you. Whether they come back or not, you've built a life that is strong, fulfilling, and self-sustaining. By focusing on becoming the best version of yourself, you set the tone for your future, whether that includes them or not. The right person will be attracted to your energy, to the life you've built for yourself, and to the person you've become in the process. So, while you wait and reflect, remember, the best way to use the space between you is by making yourself the kind of person you'd want to be with. And that, ultimately, is the most powerful thing you can do. 5. Speak your truth, not from a place of need. At some point, you'll likely feel the urge to reach out and initiate contact, but how you communicate in that moment is absolutely critical. Many people make the mistake of reaching out from a place of desperation, sending emotional messages or demanding explanations, hoping for immediate reassurance. But here's the truth. Desperation is unattractive. It signals that you're not in control of your emotions, and that's the last impression you want to give them. When you do decide to reach out, the key is to communicate in a way that is calm, clear, and assertive, without coming off as needy. Your goal is to show that while you're open to communication, you're not dependent on it. You respect their space, and you're emotionally stable regardless of how they respond. Desperation communicates insecurity, but assertiveness communicates confidence. For example, instead of sending multiple frantic messages like, "Why aren't you answering?" or "Are you mad at me?" take a more composed approach. You might say something like, "Hey, I noticed you've needed some space. I just wanted to let you know that I'm here whenever you're ready to talk." This message is clear and respectful. It shows that you're aware of their need for distance, but also mature enough to offer communication without pressuring them. By framing your words this way, you create an environment where they feel free to engage when they're ready, without feeling overwhelmed or pushed. Communicating assertively also involves setting healthy boundaries for yourself. You're not just waiting on them to respond, you're living your life in the meantime. When you show that you can handle the situation calmly and without falling apart, it demonstrates emotional maturity and self-respect. This approach not only strengthens your connection, but also increases the chances of a productive conversation when they do choose to respond. In Stoicism, Epictetus teaches us the importance of listening over speaking. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. This principle is especially relevant when reaching out. When the conversation finally happens, make sure to focus on listening more than speaking. Show them that you're not just trying to get your point across or seeking validation. You're genuinely interested in understanding their perspective. This type of communication fosters a deeper connection because it shows that you're present, grounded, and respectful of their feelings. Think of it like this. Communication is like a dance. If one person is always trying to lead, the rhythm is lost. But when both partners move together, there's balance and flow. By communicating assertively, you show that you can lead in a calm, grounded way, allowing the relationship to grow in harmony. When you speak from a place of self-assurance, you create an environment of respect and maturity. You show that while you value the relationship, you're not dependent on them for your emotional stability. In doing so, you foster an atmosphere where honest, meaningful dialogue can happen, leading to a healthier, more balanced connection. Now, you might be wondering, what if I still want to express my feelings or explain myself? Here's the thing. Assertiveness isn't about suppressing your emotions. It's about expressing them in a healthy, controlled way. It's about respecting yourself and your emotions enough to communicate them calmly, rather than letting desperation take over. In doing so, you maintain your dignity and show that you're not ruled by your feelings, but rather in control of them. Reflecting on how you communicate during challenging situations is crucial. Are you able to remain calm and assertive, or do you sometimes let desperation take over? The next time you find yourself reaching out, ask yourself, am I acting out of need, or am I communicating from a place of self-respect and understanding? By choosing assertiveness over desperation, you'll create a more stable foundation for your relationships, one built on mutual respect, trust, and emotional maturity. 6. Don't get your hopes up. Master the art of managing expectations. This is where things can get tricky, managing your expectations. It's natural to hope that when you reach out, they'll respond quickly, maybe even apologize, and everything will go back to normal. But the reality is, you can't predict their reaction. They may open up, or they may still need more space. Either way, you need to be mentally and emotionally prepared for any outcome. This is one of the key lessons of Stoicism: the importance of accepting things as they are, not as we wish them to be. When emotions are high, it's easy to become attached to a particular outcome. You might hope for reconciliation or expect her to respond in a way that reassures you. But clinging to these expectations can lead to disappointment if things don't go as planned. Stoicism teaches us to let go of the need to control the situation and, instead, focus on what we can control, our own thoughts and actions. Whether they returns to you or decides to continue distancing herself, your peace of mind should not be tied to her response. Imagine this: you send a composed, thoughtful message and wait for a reply. The temptation is to keep checking your phone, anxiously waiting for their response. But here's where you must redirect your focus. Don't spend your day glued to your phone. Engage in activities that keep you grounded, activities that focus on your life outside of this situation. The goal is to remain mentally prepared for any response, positive, negative, or none at all. If she replies and the conversation goes well, that's a positive step forward. But if they doesn't, that's okay too. The key is to maintain your own sense of calm and composure, no matter what the outcome is. This is where Stoic wisdom truly shines. Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. You can't control her decisions or how they feels, but you can control how you respond. By focusing on your own thoughts and reactions, you regain your strength. Strength doesn't come from external validation or her response. It comes from within, your ability to remain centered even in uncertain or challenging situations. Managing your expectations isn't about giving up hope. It's about freeing yourself from the need to control the uncontrollable. It's about finding peace in the process rather than fixating on the result. This mindset protects your emotional well-being and demonstrates the kind of calm, self-assured presence that is deeply attractive. Think of it like trying to control the weather. No matter how hard you wish for it to be sunny, you can't change the forecast. The only thing you can control is how you respond to the weather. Do you let the rain ruin your day, or do you embrace it and carry on with your plans? Similarly, when you manage your expectations, you take back your power. You stop waiting for external events to dictate your emotional state and instead learn to flow with whatever comes your way. In the end, the only thing you can truly control is how you carry yourself. Your inner stability is the foundation that will serve you well, no matter how the situation unfolds. So, when you're faced with uncertainty, remember, your peace isn't tied to an outcome. It's in the way you approach the process. By mastering the art of managing your expectations, you free yourself from emotional dependency and allow yourself to move through life with strength, grace, and resilience. 7. Stop playing games. Be real. This is absolutely crucial. Don't fall into the trap of playing games. It's tempting, especially when they pull away, to want to make them jealous or react to their distance by showing them what they're missing. You might feel the urge to post something on social media that implies you're having fun without them, or even ignore them back just to see if they'll chase you. But these tactics are driven by insecurity and rarely produce the results you want. In fact, they often backfire, creating more distance and tension between you. When you play games, you're not acting from a place of strength or authenticity. Instead, you're reacting out of fear or frustration. Manipulating their emotions might seem like a way to regain control of the situation, but in reality, it only damages trust. They will see right through it, and rather than pulling them closer, it will likely push them even further away. In contrast, when you choose to be authentic and genuine, you create a foundation of real connection. Authenticity shows confidence, and confidence is far more attractive than manipulation ever will be. Perhaps you're tempted to post a picture with someone else or flaunt how much fun you're having without them. But instead of resorting to these tactics, just live your life authentically. If you're genuinely having a great time with your friends, feel free to share that, but not with the intention of making them jealous or provoking a reaction. When your actions come from a place of self-assurance rather than an attempt to play mind games, you show them that you don't need to stoop to petty tactics. You're secure enough in yourself to avoid unnecessary drama. Think of it like sailing in calm waters. You don't need to fight the waves or steer the ship wildly. You just guide it steadily in the direction you want to go. Playing games is like trying to steer the ship with no direction at all. It creates chaos and confusion rather than clarity and peace. Marcus Aurelius once said, "How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it?" When you act out of frustration, jealousy, or spite, the damage it causes is far worse than the brief satisfaction you might feel in the moment. Playing games might give you a temporary sense of control or relief, but in the long run, it often leads to regret, misunderstandings, and hurt feelings on both sides. You might feel like you've won in the moment, but in the end, you're left with more damage than you expected. The wiser path is to rise above the games, maintain your dignity, stay true to yourself, and focus on handling the situation with maturity and respect. Not only will this keep you on solid ground emotionally, but it will also communicate to them that you are someone who values honesty and self-respect over mind games and manipulation. In doing so, you set a higher standard for the relationship and for how you want to be treated in return. You don't need to play games to prove your worth or make them chase you. The best way to build attraction is by showing your true self and letting things unfold naturally. The more you try to manipulate the situation, the more it will slip out of your hands. When you remain authentic and grounded, you become more attractive because you demonstrate that you don't need to rely on external validation for your happiness. Take a moment to reflect on your own experiences. Have you ever found yourself tempted to use similar tactics when faced with distance in a relationship? How did it impact the dynamic between you and the other person? Sometimes, the best thing we can do is step back, Stop trying to control the situation and trust that by being ourselves, the right things will happen. Remember, authenticity is your power. Manipulation is just a temporary fix, but being true to yourself builds lasting, real connections. 8. Create a harbor of emotional safety. When they finally reach out or you get the chance to talk, the most valuable thing you can provide is a sense of emotional safety. This doesn't mean you avoid discussing important issues or let them off the hook for everything, but it does mean creating an environment where they feel safe to be vulnerable and honest with you. If they feel judged, attacked, or misunderstood, they're likely to shut down again, making it difficult for the relationship to move forward. Your goal in these moments is to ensure they feel heard, valued, and understood, even when the conversation becomes challenging. Imagine they contact you after a week of silence. It's natural to want answers right away, with questions like, "Why did you ignore me?" or "What's been going on?" swirling in your mind. However, diving straight into confrontational questions can make them feel cornered or defensive. Instead, approach the conversation with curiosity and empathy. Start by asking how they've been feeling during the time apart. Give them the space to share their thoughts and emotions without interrupting or reacting defensively. This shows that you're emotionally mature, patient, and capable of handling whatever they have to say, even if it's not easy to hear. When you create this space for open dialogue, they'll sense that they can trust you, not just with their words, but with their feelings. As they begin to open up, resist the urge to judge or criticize. Focus on truly listening, not just to their words, but to the emotions behind them. Let them know that you value their perspective, even if it differs from yours. This doesn't mean you agree with everything they say, but it shows that you respect their right to feel the way they do. Emotional stability on your part can make a profound difference here. If you can stay calm and composed, you demonstrate that you're in control of your own emotions, which in turn allows them to feel more secure around you. Consider this. A conversation is like tending to a fire. If you add too much fuel at once, the flames can flare out of control. But if you tend it carefully, with patience and attention, it grows steadily and provides warmth. When you approach tough conversations with calmness and care, you're nurturing the connection instead of smothering it with intensity. As Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, wisely said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." By mastering your emotions, you not only maintain your inner peace, but also create a safe emotional space where they can express themselves freely. When you listen without jumping to conclusions, respond without aggression, and remain steady even in difficult moments, you become a source of comfort and stability. This emotional steadiness is magnetic. It's the foundation of trust and security in any relationship. Some might wonder, but what if they say something I don't want to hear? What if their explanation doesn't make sense or feels unfair? These are valid concerns, but remember, the goal isn't to control their narrative or force an outcome. It's to give them the freedom to share and to show them that you can handle their truth, whatever it may be. When they feel safe enough to be honest, the relationship has a better chance of healing and growing stronger. The calmer and more open you remain, especially during tough conversations, the more they'll feel that they can trust you to handle difficult moments. This trust will strengthen your connection and bring them closer to you because they'll feel confident that you're someone they can rely on, no matter what the situation may be. Just like a harbor provides safety for ships during a storm, your emotional stability creates a refuge where they can feel secure. And in that security, deeper bonds are formed, and mutual respect flourishes. 9. See the forest, not just the trees. In the intensity of the present moment, especially when emotions are running high, it's easy to lose sight of the bigger picture. You might feel the urge to react impulsively, to say or do something that's driven by fleeting emotions. But this is where Stoicism offers a crucial lesson. Step back, breathe, and focus on the broader view. Life, like relationships, is a journey of ups and downs. No single moment, whether joyous or painful, defines the entire story. Just because they're distant now doesn't mean the relationship is over. And even if things feel perfect in the moment, it's still essential to assess the overall trajectory of your connection. Relationships are like a book. One challenging chapter doesn't ruin the whole story, just as one happy page doesn't guarantee a happy ending. By adopting this perspective, you gain clarity and wisdom, allowing you to act with intention instead of being swept away by a single moment of conflict or silence. When you focus on the bigger picture, you allow yourself to reflect not only on the relationship itself, but also on your own personal growth. Relationships aren't just about being with someone, they're also opportunities to evolve, to learn, and to grow. Maybe this period of distance is just a temporary hurdle in an otherwise solid relationship. Or perhaps it's a sign that something needs to change for the relationship to thrive in a healthier way. Either way, the key is not to overreact in the heat of the moment. By zooming out and considering the relationship as a whole, you can approach the situation with wisdom rather than emotion. Ask yourself, is this current distance just a phase that will pass, or is it revealing deeper issues that need attention? By viewing the situation holistically, you give yourself the space to evaluate it without frustration or anxiety clouding your judgment. Imagine it like standing at the base of a mountain. When you're too close, all you see are the obstacles in front of you. But if you step back, you can take in the entire landscape and map out the best way forward. Epictetus wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This moment, whether it's a week of silence or a tough disagreement, is just one part of the larger narrative of your relationship. Don't let a temporary situation define how you view the relationship, or more importantly, your own emotional well-being. A tree that loses a few leaves doesn't stop being a tree. In the same way, a relationship can weather moments of difficulty and still remain strong if the roots are solid. Stoic wisdom reminds us to stay steady and not let temporary situations dictate our overall perspective. By focusing on the bigger picture, you create room for growth, not just for the relationship, but for yourself. Every connection has its moments of tension, distance, and challenge, but how you navigate these moments will shape the path of your relationship. Will you let these moments derail the journey, or will you use them to build something stronger? Consider this. When an artist paints a masterpiece, every stroke has its purpose. Some strokes are bold and vibrant. Others are dark and subdued. Alone, a single stroke might seem incomplete, but together they form a cohesive, beautiful work of art. Your relationship is much the same. The happy moments and the challenges both play a role in the bigger picture. By stepping back, reflecting on the larger context, and maintaining your emotional balance, you'll be better equipped to guide the relationship toward a healthy, sustainable future. Temporary difficulties don't have to derail the journey. They can teach you patience, resilience, and the importance of focusing on what truly matters. Remember, the bigger picture isn't just about where you are now, it's about where you're headed. Keep your eyes on the horizon and don't let one storm cloud make you forget the beauty of the sky ahead. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.